What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all are having a great day. For today's video, it's a special edition video. Obviously the draft was yesterday, so I want to talk about it. Let's get into it. So obviously, as many of everyone know, if you're an NFL fan, you knew that the first two picks were probably going to be Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, and those were correct. Trevor Lawrence was drafted out of Clemson to Jacksonville, and Zach Wilson was drafted out of BYU, and he is now on the Jets. And then after that, it got a little interesting. Who was San Francisco going to draft? They ended up drafting Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. You know, he's a young quarterback. He's 20. Justin Fields was a little older, obviously, so I guess they just wanted to go younger and someone that could sit behind Garoppolo for a year or two just to develop. So they drafted Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. And then as it moved down, it went to Atlanta Falcons. A lot of people thought Kyle Pitts would go there or Justin Fields, and it ended up being Kyle Pitts. So that Falcons offense is going to be very, very good. I mean, you're going to have Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley in the backfield. It's going to be a very elite offense in Atlanta. But the rest of the draft, they really need to focus on defense and get some key defensive players that help them out on that side of the ball to help them moving forward. And then at 5, the Bengals, they selected Jamar Chase out of LSU. He's obviously played with Joe Burrow the year before. He took this past year off because he didn't want to go through all the COVID protocols and all that. So now he got drafted to the Bengals. He's a good fit with him and T. Higgins on opposite sides of the field with Joe Burrow. Do I think the Bengals will be great next year? Not really, but I think they'll have a great offense, which will help lead them in years to come. And then the 6th pick was the Dolphins, and they selected Jalen Waddle. It was either going to be Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. And they ended up going with Jalen Waddle. I think they went with him just because he's a little bigger. Obviously, in my opinion, size really doesn't matter. I think Devontae Smith was better. But they ended up going with Jalen Waddle. I guess they thought he would be a better fit with Tua. So we'll see how that kind of connection works and how they end up going throughout the year with their team, because obviously Tua has to do it by himself since Fitzpatrick moved on to Washington. So we'll see how that duo develops and how they can handle the pressure, because they have to be good. Miami was great last year. They were good last year, and they're projected to be great this year. So we'll see how they can do. And then the 7th pick was the Detroit Lions. They were another team that was expected to potentially pick Justin Fields, but they ended up not doing that. They selected a tackle, Penei Sewell, I think it was. So they went offensive tackle to be able to guard Jared Goff. So that's obviously a good pick to have. Jared Goff was under a lot of pressure in the Rams to see how he can do next year in Detroit with a new offensive tackle, one of the best in the draft. So we'll see how that goes. And then with the 8th pick, obviously, Carolina Panthers, they traded for Sam Darnold, so I didn't think they were really going to be on the QB market. A lot of people thought they would. I didn't personally, and they ended up not doing that. They selected J.C. Horn, a cornerback out of South Carolina. Very elite corner, one of the best corners since Jalen Ramsey was selected. So obviously they're just trying to build their defense in Carolina because the last couple of drafts, they've been mainly defense. That's all they draft. So we'll see how their defense can turn into this year and if it can be elite and get to that next level to where they want to be and to playoff contention. And then with the, 9th pick, we have the Broncos, and I thought they were going to pick Justin Fields, but they ended up not doing that. They went with what did they go with, a wide receiver? No, they went with they went with a defensive player. I forget his name, but he's a great defensive player. Patrick Surtain. He's another corner, the 2nd corner off the board from Alabama. He was a lockdown corner, so obviously Denver, I thought they were going to pick a quarterback, but they ended up going with a cornerback and Patrick Surtain. And then the 10th pick, obviously moving on down. Let's just get to the 11th pick because that's where the Chicago Bears traded up to get Justin Fields. So they got Justin Fields in that. Do I think Justin Fields will be great? Yes. He was a great player in college. I don't know why a lot of people underestimated him this year. I think he should have been the 2nd overall pick, in my opinion, just because he lit up great teams. I mean, he only had 2 bad games, and everyone judged him because of that. So I think he's going to have a great career. Maybe not on Chicago because they don't have a lot of weapons to throw to. But we'll see how that ends up working out for both of them, if it will be a mutual, thing. Well, the head coaches and the general manager's jobs are on the line, so we'll see if they picked the right guy or if they didn't. And if it's the right fit, for me, it's the right fit. I don't think it is, because they don't have a lot of weapons for Justin Fields to throw to, so we'll see how that ends up going. And then before that, 10th pick, the Dallas Cowboys selected Micah Parsons. Maybe a little bit after that, I don't know, but they selected Micah Parsons, a linebacker out of Penn State. And then everyone was waiting to see what would happen. Are the Patriots going to draft a quarterback, a wide receiver, defensive player? They ended up going with a quarterback, Mac Jones out of Alabama. A guy that me personally, I thought was a little overrated. Playing on Alabama, I think you could put any D1 quarterback on Alabama, and they would have been great. I mean, they had 3 first-round wide receivers on that team, so they're not lacking talent on Alabama, as well as a running back. So Mac Jones had a lot of weapons to throw to, so we'll see how he can do in the pros. Is he going to have that same success, or is he not? A lot of people fall back in the pros, and I think he'll be one of them, but again, it's my opinion. We're just going to see how it rolls out. He went with the Patriots, and I think Cam Newton will be the starter week 1, but that's, who knows how Bill Belichick's going to handle that whole situation. And then moving on down, just a couple more picks. The Jaguars took Travis Etienne from Clemson. All my Clemson fans that are subscribed to my channel or follow me, you know that I'm happy about that. Seeing 2 Clemson guys back together, and they might even draft Cornell Powell, Amari Rodgers. They might get all of them back together. You never know. But Urban Meyer so far has done a great job of drafting, putting Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne back together. They're trying to get a little offensive power there in Jacksonville. So we'll see if they continue to do that, or if they start drafting defensive players in these next couple of days in the draft. And the Browns, Cleveland Browns selected a corner, Gregory something like that, Greg something, out of Northwestern, cornerback. So he's supposed to be really good. Me personally, I didn't think we need a cornerback, but we'll take it. He's supposed to be really good, so happy about that pick. And there were a lot more picks down the line, just defensive ends, picks like that, and just throughout the draft. There were a couple surprises, but it was mainly silent, this whole draft process. So we'll see how that plays out and how it ends up going. So again, and we'll also see where Aaron Rodgers goes. He requested a trade. I might make a video, might not, but he also requested a trade yesterday. So we'll see where he ends up. He was not traded anywhere yesterday, but he probably will in the days or weeks to come. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. And that's for today's video. It's a little longer than normal, but it's a special day. It's a draft day. Wanted to update y'all on all that. Be sure to comment down below your favorite team, and did y'all draft the right player this year? Who did you get? Let me know what you think about him. Other than that, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Peace.